welcome to this special broadcast. I'm Reema Tendulkar. With me is Nisha Poddar, and these are the key headlines from Reliance's 47th AGM. Reliance Industries is transforming into a deep tech company with advanced manufacturing capabilities, says Chairman Mukesh Ambani at the 47th Annual General Meeting. Adds the conglomerate is on track to more than double in size before the end of this decade.
The Reliance board will consider a 1:1 bonus issue on the 5th of September. The move to reward the shareholders takes the stock higher in trade. No word on the potential listing of Jio and Reliance Retail.
Reliance Jio will roll out AI cloud services from this Diwali, will offer 100 GB cloud storage for free as a welcome offer. Aims to double Jio's revenue and EBITDA in 3 to 4 years.
Isha Ambani says Reliance Retail will double its business in the next 3 to 4 years. The company is now among the top 5 in the world in number of stores.
The new energy business will be the new jewel in Reliance's crown, says Mukesh Ambani. Will set up a multi-gigawatt electrolyzer manufacturing facility by 2026. Expects new energy to deliver earnings like O2C business in the next 5 to 7 years.
With an eye on embedding innovative technologies in every single business and another on powering India to a leadership position in green and clean energy, Reliance Chairman Mukesh Ambani laid out the conglomerate's roadmap at their 47th Annual General Meeting. Here are the highlights.
Our founder firmly believed that you are the backbone of Reliance, and that you deserve a substantial reward from time to time as your company grows from strength to strength. I have supreme confidence in the robust performance and the bright future growth prospects of all our businesses. Based on this confidence, I would like to share some good news with you today. At 1:45 p.m. today, Reliance Industries Limited has sent a notice to the stock exchanges that the Board of Directors will meet on the 5th September to consider issuing bonus shares in the ratio of 1:1. With the success of our Atmanirbhar efforts, we are accelerating India's transformation into a deep tech nation. Reliance spent over 3,643 crores in the financial year 24 towards R&D, taking our spend on research to over 11,000 crores in the last 4 years alone. We have more than 1,000 scientists and researchers working on critical research projects across all our businesses. Jio users will get up to 100 GB of free cloud storage to securely store and access all their photos, videos, documents, and all other digital content and data. And we will also have the most affordable prices in the market for those needing even higher storage. We plan to launch the Jio AI Cloud welcome offer starting Diwali of this year, bringing a powerful and affordable solution where cloud data storage and data-powered AI services are available to everyone, everywhere.
The Jio Home app is your personal control center, letting you manage everything in your home, from your Wi-Fi to your smart devices with just a few taps. Because your security is our top priority, Jio Home app includes features like malware detection and guest Wi-Fi management, keeping your home network safe and secure.
We opened 1,840 new stores this year, bringing our total store count to 18,836 stores, with a retail space of 79 million square feet in total. With the strong foundation we have built, I am confident that we will achieve our goal of doubling our retail business in the next 3 to 4 years.
Well, that is the big headline, right? Double Reliance Industries in size before the end of this decade, and double Reliance Jio's EBITDA and revenues and Reliance Retail's revenues in the next 3 to 4 years. And just to put that in context of the kind of growth we're talking about, the size we're talking about. Now, Reliance Industries on a consolidated basis had revenues of over 10 lakh crore rupees, and we're talking about doubling that before the turn of this decade. Reliance Jio had revenues of 10,000 crore rupees, margins of more than 52%, double that in 3 to 4 years. And Reliance Retail has revenues of more than 30,000 crore rupees. So, true to form, this time, the Reliance AGM has set the vision, and the vision is to grow, become bolder, bigger, and target aggressive growth. We have with us a panel of experts to decode, the intricacies of Reliance's AGM this time. Sunny Agarwal of SBI Securities is with us. Prakash Diwan, market expert, also joining in, and Dhruba Purkayastha of CEEW is with us. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. Prakash, your quick words first. For value unlocking, the street was awaiting, perhaps it will come in via the IPO route for Reliance Retail and Jio. But instead, while, Mukesh Ambani, the chairman, has not touched upon that, he has set out bold and big targets. Do you think there are enough catalysts in this Reliance, in the 47th AGM? And then take us through what stood out for you.
So, Rima, as you rightly said, while the IPO roadmap hasn't been touched upon, what seems to be the strategy is to make Reliance Jio much bigger, much more, stronger, and much future ready before you talk about any IPO plans. So if we leave the announcement on the aspiration to double EBITDA and profits in the next 3 to 4 years, look at what investments are going into it. Look at which direction the investments or resources are being applied. You are talking about making it a deep tech company, making AI so accessible, getting into data centers to support this, running these data centers through green energy. I mean, there's a host of things that revolve around the Jio bandwagon before it gets future ready. Now, all it does is, this will not make, my take is, if I were waiting for the Jio IPO to happen in some form, in some kind of timelines, I'm willing to wait if these investments make it even a bigger bet. So it's very clear that from that 10 lakh crores, you could probably be seeing it catapulted into probably double the size by the time an IPO is crystallized. So all in all, I think it's an excellent roadmap for what transformative changes that are likely to happen in Jio. And the other part that, the key takeaway is the green energy business seems to be real and just around the corner. I mean, if you're talking about electrolyzer capacities, if they're talking about solar modules being made by end of this year, it's just a matter of a few months before you'll start seeing some of these things roll out. So I think it's very clearly an AGM that has the set of announcement that has made all of those aspirations which were outlined in the couple of previous AGMs to be reality in a much quicker way. So, that's the beauty. The scale is phenomenal, and of course now you also have the bonus issue to kind of celebrate in terms of at least 10%, 9% of the capital getting reserves getting capitalized. So all in all, I think it's a wonderful way to look at the business in a very different, scaled up, future ready way.
That's right. So future-ready business is being created, Prakash, and of course the 75,000 crore rupees of new energy investments that was announced a few years back. An detailed update has been given, and one particular highlight of this is also that the new energy business in 5 to 7 years can scale up akin to O2C kind of business and the earnings there. Sunny, what stands out for you when we talk about the Reliance Industries AGM and the forward-looking statements and the vision stated by Mukesh Ambani?
Hi, good afternoon. I think the most standout factor was clarity on growth for the new energy business. So a lot of clarity has been given individual sector-wise, what will happen on CBG side, whether it is a solar PV side, green hydrogen, BESS, and at the same time, the most important point was the profitability of the new energy business will be similar to O2C business, which is currently at close to 60,000 crore rupees EBITDA. So I think in the next 5 to 7 years, this new energy business will start contributing north of 50,000 crore of EBITDA. Not in a nutshell, what I feel is that for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe telecom and the retail business will grow at a 20% CAGR in terms of profitability, and that will drive the overall growth of the entire Reliance as a consolidated entity. And post that, a new energy will take the baton and will start contributing to the growth. So maybe at the overall company level, oil and gas and O2C may remain a kind of a low single-digit kind of growth. Telecom as well as retail may contribute more than 20% growth in terms of profitability. So in overall, on a console basis, maybe 12 to 13% kind of PAT CAGR is something which we can look at for Reliance over the period of next 3 to 4 years. And post that, new energy business will take the baton and will start contributing aggressively in terms of growth.
Dhruva, come in. Assess the new energy aspiration laid out by the chairman, Mukesh Ambani. Do you think it's a bit aggressive? Or even if it's aggressive for Reliance Industries, it's possibly, realistic, because they've shown in the past that what seemed to be impossible, they've made it possible. So how would you assess this goal they've set out for green energy to make it as profitable, to have that kind of earnings growth in the next 5 to 7 years as O2C?
Thank you. I think you said it all. Reliance has a track record of making a lot of impossible from a scale point of view to making it possible. And let me just take on what I heard very intensely on the new energy business. It is really, really heartening and encouraging to think that the entire energy value chain, and what I call the clean energy value chain, has been covered in this AGM. And Mukesh Ambani has referenced each parts of the value chain. Let me just kind of detail this out a little. It is not only solar, it has got biogas, it's got coal gasification, it's got electrolyzers, it's got everything around, and green hydrogen and the entire value chain. Where it resonates with us at CEW is basically on the angle that we are taking today in our research and policy advisory. We happen to be India's leading policy think tank on these lines, is like securing the fuels of the future. And this is exactly where these investments are coming in terms of, I would say, the scale at which Reliance operates is essentially driving costs down when green hydrogen and subsequent value chain additions will become a reality. See, look at India being in fuel shortage, and that's what we have lived through for 50 years. Today, fuels are not coming out of what is there. You're not in a geographically locked situation that whether you have oil or not, and coal is shifting gradually. But at the same point of time, I was encouraged to see coal gasification over there. It may be a transition element. So the entire value chain, I would expect it to drive the cost of green hydrogen, compressed biogas, the entire green value chain, and it can even lead to exports of green hydrogen, which can happen in the form of liquid ammonia. So this is highly encouraging to see the scale of investments. I'll stay out. There are a lot of market experts here. I'm not commenting on how it will hit its bottom line, EBITDA, and multiples of how it will get treated in the market. Yes, it is aggressive, but this is what the direction that India needs on becoming an Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I'll pause here. Thank you.
Right. Dhruva, hold on to your thoughts. Lots more to discuss on this, because the entire vision also articulates various pieces of the entire renewable energy ecosystem. And especially when Mukesh Ambani said that to make this renewable energy less, sporadic, but more predictable by round-the-clock renewable energy and also battery storage. So those are very critical pieces where he articulated the vision, which is already underway. But gentlemen, hold on to your thoughts. Lots more to discuss on Reliance Industries AGM announcements right after this short break. Welcome back. You're still with us on this special broadcast where we decode 47th Reliance Annual General Meeting. Now, Prakash Diwan, we were discussing the various aspects of the AGM announcement. Now, it looked like a large part of the announcement as well as the speech by the chairman was heavily tilted towards technology, and especially the latest technology of deep tech as well as artificial intelligence. Now, certain big announcements that were really made in the case of Jio AI Cloud and the bumper offering around Diwali time. So apart from bonus, that's a bumper Diwali bonanza for Jio customers. And on the other hand, also the ambitious targets of Jio Air Fiber of 1 million homes in 30 days, besides many other aspects that were really laid out. What do you make of the AI thrust and the digital as well as a technological thrust? Prakash, you're on mute.
Sorry. So I'm saying, I'm glad you raised this particular point, Tisha, because out of all the announcements, the most impactful and market moving could be the one on Jio. You know why? Because the offer that he's talked about, the 100 GB cloud, it's absolutely unbelievable. Indians love to store things. We've been relying on some 15 GB kind of availability from Google and all this while. And now if you had this kind of a thing, you can imagine the kind of subscription that they would get, the kind of porting that will happen to Jio. People who are still not able to decide whether they should port to Jio this will be a big incentive. Now, the other thing it does is it gives an edge which no other telecom service provider has. You look at Bharti, you look at Vodafone, they're nowhere close to weaving in AI in their entire offering. So this becomes a significant differentiator for the next leg of growth in a phase where ARPUs are increasing. So this will also lead to that ARPU growth, which has been so elusive all this while. The second thing on the home, Jio Home, it's very simple. I was talking about this before the AGM that given the RIL Disney JV, there is no reason why you will not avail of the FTTH or the home offer, for the simple reason that it comes bundled with so much of content and so much of high-end technology-driven, OTT experience. So I think it's going to virtually take over your mind space and your, room space and your eyes share, because there is nothing that you need to rely on in terms of, getting it from different various services, whereas you would have a one-stop solution for all your digital needs. So I think it's definitely going to add to a huge subscription. Rima's there. She can tell you how this could translate into this. And Jio's contribution in the SOTP, if you really look at, it's close to, in the 3,000 odd price. If you see, I think it's probably close to 1,250. Now, if that 1,250 goes up even by 10-15%, automatically that reflects in the stock very well. So that's what's going to make a big difference on the stock at least, and in terms of anticipation of high growth. And anyways, he's spoken about a 23% CAGR growth rate. If you look at 4 years, that EBITDA is going to double. So that 23% CAGR itself is far higher than what the company is going at. So extremely excited to see what Jio can contribute to the overall Reliance stock and its journey going ahead.
That's right. And Jio has always added to the competitive intensity, and this time for the global players also. And remember that digital democratization was one thrust a few years back. And this time what stands out is the democratization of AI, which is the newest technology. And he did say that he wants to end India-Bharat divide and also make connected intelligence by giving AI to everyone, everywhere, even on the low-cost smartphones. So that's one of the big things which is going to put pressure on the overall sector as well with this particular bumper offer. But Dhruva, one particular point on the ambitious plans on new energy that Reliance Industries has. What does it do to India's thrust towards renewable energy and the government's targets towards it?
Thanks, Nisha. This actually supports very well aligns, because if you look at India's targets, which are global commitments of 500 gigawatt, there is a supply chain that is required. There is investment in the entire supply chain, which is from silicon to the panel. That is what I saw in terms of solar kind of cities, which are green energy cities, which is being conceptualized. So I think, one, it supports the solar, the renewable energy initiative, and some of them are new ones which are exploratory. And the exploratory ones indicated are very, very interesting. It indicates geothermal exploration. It indicates coal gasification. It also talks about huge scaling up of compressed biogas. And it talks about growing plantations behind them. So if you look at the entirety and not only focus on solar, the missions that India has is about non-fossil fuel sources. We just happen to think solar because that's on top of our mind. So it is hugely supportive on that. And its complementary is the investment in so-called battery manufacturing or grid scale battery. And that's exactly what we need to get renewable infirm power to a firm state of 24/7. So I look at all of these has been well researched and complementary, and it gets very well aligned to India's mission, including hydrogen missions that India has. Thank you.
Okay, and we've got time for just one final question. So Sunny, let's wrap up this discussion. It's been a great discussion with you. What, according to you, should be the fair value of Reliance Industries post what we've heard? Do you think EPS upgrades are likely in store given the growth ambitions set out by the company? And it also, this time, there was no large big bang capex which was announced. That 75,000 crore was just commitment to what was earlier announced. So it's clear the company is now beyond its, the capex phase, and it's now transitioning to benefit from the capex that it's earlier done. So does that provide an incremental upside?
Yeah, I feel a minor upside is possible. However, I feel that it would like to wait for Q2 numbers. So I think it was very well-known fact that it is the retail as well as the telecom business, which will be the value growth driver. So if you look at the current juncture, almost at EBIT level, both cyclical businesses and these consumer-facing businesses are contributing 50-50 at EBITDA level. And going forward, as we see the shift inclining towards the consumer businesses, obviously there will be slight kind of re-rating. But in terms of upgrade, I feel maybe post Q2 numbers, we may see some upgrade. As of now, I don't expect any major upgrade immediately post this AGM. However, all the commentary has been in line with expectation, especially on telecom, retail, and a lot of clarity has been given on the new energy business, which analyst community will start building in their model maybe 3 to 4 years down the line.
All right, Sunny, Prakash, Dhruva, thanks so much for all your insights. From Rima and myself, it's a wrap on this special broadcast, but keep it with CNBC TV18. Thanks so much.